today, there we are. Video stopped. Oh, yeah, I started it again, Nick. Go ahead and do it. There we go. Fur got me tagged. Also, awesome. All right, we're going to have some fun today. And also talk about something very, very important. I'm going to teach you something that I've been teaching as part of my flawless follow-up for a long time. Now, for those of you, I guess I'll introduce myself because there are some new faces here I don't recognize. I'm Steve Rosenbaum. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer of Extendly. I've been doing marketing automation since before they called it marketing automation. Seriously, in 1986, my first job out of college was with the Samsonite Luggage Company. And the guy that I worked with, he trained me. I was in the training program for sales. He got me hooked on what we now call marketing automation. I used a Mac Plus, the ACT CRM, the Excel spreadsheet, and a pencil and paper. And I'm serious, you still needed a pencil and paper to do marketing automation back in 1986. But I've been doing it ever since. I mean, I've always leveraged technology. And I have a saying, you'll hear me say it a lot as you get to hear more and more of my training. I say technology changes nothing and it improves everything. Here's what I mean by that. It's the process that matters. You have to have a process. You have to have a system. Even back in 1986, when those tools were a lot different, it was really the same process in terms of how we met people, how we reached out to people, how we communicated with them. We didn't have email, we had phone, we had even writing and all the, that stuff. We literally wrote follow-up letters back in those days, or thank you cards and stuff, a lot more. Some people do it today too. Well, those were things that we did back then. Some of you probably remember that as well. But leveraging technology just allowed us to always do the same process, but do it better, faster, and cheaper. And now High Level comes along and Extendly comes along. And now we've taken it to the ultimate level, because now what we can do is not only can we do it for ourselves, but as agency owners, we could scale it. We could take these processes, we could lay them all out, and then we could sell them over and over and over again. And this has always been my goal. This has always been my vision way back when I wrote this book called the Back End Blueprint, which is 12 or 13 years old now. You'll see some of these concepts in here. You'll see me talking about the leak-proof funnel that you'll hear me talking about a lot. You'll hear a lot of the stuff that I talk about even way back then to prove that nothing changes. The technology changes. I recommend software programs in here that aren't alive today. But what also wasn't alive back then was High Level or Extendly. So it's never about the software. It's always about the process. Today, I want to teach you about an important part of that process, and I call it the ignition sequence. And we use it to ignite new relationships. And here's what I mean by that. Actually, I put together a little slideshow. Hey, look at you, Charles, with the QR code rocking. What's that going to do if we scan that? Is that going to add to the list?
I don't know. You'll have to scan it and see.
All right. I guess everybody's
going
going to scan Charles' QR code and see what happens. Look at him coming here and pirating my audience. Look at you.
Reformat your hard drive.
I love it, Charles. I love it.
I learned it from you. It's all about the QR code.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Hey, it's so good. I've seen some people that I actually got to meet in person last week down at in Florida. I'm so glad you were there. If you weren't there, you missed it. But don't miss the next one. It's a lot of fun, and we learned a lot, and we had a heck of a good time. And coming up soon is going to be Level Up. All right, so let's go. I got a little slide presentation to share with you. I think if I got it in the right place. Hang on, let me get on the right screen. All right, here we go. This is it. Let me start it up. All right. Everybody seen the first slide that says these 5 hot emails ignite new relationships, right? Okay.
Yes.
All right. So who knows Dan Kennedy? Anybody know Dan Kennedy?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. One of the greatest marketers of our time. And he was doing stuff back then in the 70s when things were different, but he got the process right? Now we just automate that process and make it better, faster, cheaper. But he says the creation of sales letter sequences, rather than just creating sales letters, is as responsible as any other single idea for making millions and millions of dollars for my personal clients. It's the sequence, not just one message, but a sequence of messages. All right. Now I'll show you a couple slides that I've shown before in some of my training, so you've probably seen this. But first of all, what happened here? I went right to the end. I don't want to do that. Okay. Chet Holmes, in one of his books, he says that in any given market, any time, 3% of the people are active buyers. All right. The top 10% might be convincible to buy right now. All right. But in any given market, 3% of the market is what I call ready, willing, and able to buy right now. I keep that in mind. And then here's another study from Microsoft, and you've probably seen variations of this. And this kind of bears out what Dan Kennedy's talking about, sequences of messages, which is, most people, they only follow up one time at most. 50% of the people, they follow up once and done. 65% of the time, almost 2/3 of the time, people stop after just 2 messages. This is how many messages people send out before they quit. 79% of the people never follow up beyond 3 messages. And if you make it all the way to if you make it all the way to the 4th message, 89% of your competition has given up. What do you think about that? You're gonna be in the top 11% automatically just by sending out 4 messages. Pretty crazy, right? So here's a trick question, and I'm announcing it as a trick question. How many emails should we send out to find our first buyer?
As many as it takes.
I like that, Heidi. Which could be what?
Could be 12, 20, 40.
Or it could be 1. Right? All right. So this is where, and this was the tricky part, Carlos. This is where most people get it wrong. People have seen something to this effect. Oh, it takes 7 touches before I'm going to get an order. It takes 12 touches. Many people are too shy to ask, or they don't think, oh, I haven't earned people haven't gotten to know, like, and trust me. I haven't earned the right to ask for an order. That's wrong, folks. That's wrong. Another marketing must have. Every communication must have a call to action. You must give people a path to move forward. Don't send out emails just for the sake of sending out emails. All right. So that's an important part of what we call the ignition sequence, or it says here funnel. There are certain words I use interchangeably, especially over the years. I've been doing this so long. Funnel, sequence, sometimes campaign. You'll see a lot of these words. They're basically interchangeable. Okay. So the first thing that I like to do, and it is the first sequence when I meet somebody for the very first time, it's built into what I call my leak-proof funnel system. And I think I've done other training in this coaching about the full leak-proof. If not, we'll talk about it some other time. But the very first funnel, when we meet somebody, I call it the ignition funnel. And it's designed to ignite the relationship, to light a fire, to get people to notice us, to pay attention to us above and beyond all others. But I want to tell you the objectives. All right. One of the things I say is filter first. Objective number 1, filter for immediate RWA. Does anybody yet know what I mean when I say RWA? Anybody? I say it a lot. Ready, willing, and able. People ready, willing, and able to buy from you. Now, that's my own term. So, but you need to have those things. People aren't going to buy if they don't have all 3 of those things. You might meet people that say, yeah, I'm ready, I'm willing, but I'm not able. I can't afford it right now. I'm going on vacation next week. My spouse will kill me. So they may be ready and willing. They're not able. They might be ready and able and not willing. They might be willing and able and not ready. All right. So you have to have all 3 things before somebody's going to buy from you. But remember that very first slide, Chet Holmes said 3% of the market, the very top of the pyramid, 3% of the market, they are right now ready, willing, and able to buy right now. They might have an emergency. They might be in need of something. Maybe that's how they found you. They got online, they're Googling for something. They found you because they have a need for something. And you send them, and then they opt in to get information from you because they want to know, hey, I'm ready to buy right now. But if you don't give them that path forward, they don't know how to do it. And you'd be surprised how many marketers don't filter first. There are people who want to buy from you right now. So filter first, nurture next. Heidi, were you going to say something? Okay. Now we want to maximize the user experience. What does that mean? That means the people on the other side of our emails, the people getting our messages. By the way, it doesn't just have to be emails. You could use text messaging. You could use just about any way of communicating or engaging people. We want them to have a great experience. What does it mean to have a great experience? What are some examples that we can do to make them have a good experience?
Give them
Provide
something they can
value.
use right away.
Sorry.
Provide value. Okay. Who else? Shout it out. Shout it out.
Give them something they can use right away.
Okay. Excellent, Heidi. Anybody else?
Predictability.
Oh, I like predictability too. But I'll tell you about 3 E's that I always focus on. It's not to say your answers were wrong. They're all right. But I focus on 3 E's. Number 1, I like to be entertaining. People like to be entertained. I also like to be educational. People like to learn. And I like to be engaging. Entertaining, educational, engaging. 3 E's, which happens to be in the lead-proof funnel. L is for lead engagement, lead generation. E is for engagement. So ways to maximize the user experience. I think Heidi said provide value. All right, my 3 E's. And I think there was predictability, which, by the way, predictability, Charles, my 4th bullet point comes down to that. Here's something nobody ever thinks about. Gather data for segmenting and personalization. Wow. That's weird. We're going to send out emails so we can gather data for segmenting and personalization. But the more we know about somebody, the easier it is to make a sale. How do we gather information? Number 1, we could ask them. We could take them to a survey, ask them to complete a survey. Tell us about yourself. What else can we do? Charles, this is a little bit of next level thinking. What else can we do to segment people?
Well, you can segment them by engagement type. You can segment them by demographics,
Okay.
whether that's industry, gender, age range, all that can play relevant into marketing.
Yep. And all that is doable. All that's doable.
Yep.
One of the things I like to do that's even a little simpler than that is just track their activity. Just track their activity. If we send out 100 emails, if we send out emails to 100 different people, are all 100 going to open them? No, they're not. And if we have a link in those emails, are all the people that open the email going to click the link? No, they're not. All right. In fact, let's just use the 80-20 rule. Let's just say we send out 100 emails and 20% of those people open the email. That's only 20 people. And let's say 20% of those people click on the link. That's 4 people. So one of the great things about sending out 100 emails is that we can eliminate 96 people from being ready, willing, and able right now. We're down close to the 3% of the people that might be ready, willing, and able. This gathering information helps us narrow down people that maybe want to engage at another level. Now, maybe we even want to do something really weird, pick up a phone and call somebody, right? We only have to pick up a phone and call 4 people, not 100 people. Hey, I saw you watch that video. Hey, I saw you did this. I saw you did that. Tell me, how does that apply to your business? What was your feeling about it? What do you want to do with this? Many people think that marketing is pushing a message out. When you market the way that we're teaching you and the tools that you have in high level and built into everything that Extendly puts in, marketing is more about the information we take in. If we put out things in a format where we can get clues, where we can get tips, it helps us be much better salesmen. Carlos, you look very pensive. What's your thought?
I'm just paying attention,
Okay.
soaking it in.
Good. It looks like that resonated with you. I like that. All right. So
Totally.
this is what the ignition funnel is meant to do. Does that make sense, everybody? You probably never looked at sending out emails as being able to do this much, right? So like, oh, I'm just going to send out an email. No, emails can do a lot more than just communicate. All right. So what does it mean? All right. So here's how we use the ignition funnel. When do we launch it? We launch it immediately when we meet somebody for the first time. How do we meet them? Maybe they opt into a forum. Maybe I meet them at a pod live event down in Florida. Okay. Then we start the ignition funnel. Maybe we do it by scanning a QR code on a Zoom link when we're on a Zoom frame when we're stealing somebody's traffic. Okay, then we start them into an ignition funnel. How do we customize it? Now this is well, that's not really relevant here. This is when I was selling what today we would call a snapshot of an ignition funnel, and I was telling people you could customize it by changing the links and the verbiage and the content. By timing 2 to 3 days. What I mean by this is I like to send out 5 messages and spread them out every 2 to 3 days. So what that means is the duration of the entire sequence is going to be roughly 10 to 14 days. You meet somebody, they opt in, you got 5, at least 5. 5 is not a magic number, by the way. It's just I'm picking a number that's a good number. It could be 4, it could be 12. I really don't care, but 5 is doable, right? You could sit down this afternoon and you could write 5 emails. Especially, by the way, you could use ChatGPT. You're allowed to. That's okay, right? So you can sit down this afternoon and literally write 5 emails. What are you looking for? That engagement. We're looking for who's clicking, who's replying, who looks like they might be ready, willing, and able to want to move forward with us. All right, does that make sense, everybody? Yes or yes? Right? Yes. Awesome. By the way, so this is literally this, you're looking at a sample of something that I did like 10 years ago. When I created what today we would call a snapshot. It was in a totally different program, but I've been creating these done for you sequences and funnels and everything for businesses for a long time. Back in those days, I used this big orange button as a call to action. I wanted to make sure that every single email had a call to action. So it's a little goofy, little ugly, but it got people's attention. Ugly marketing works great sometimes. I'll tell you a story about back in 1998. And I was using that Act CRM back then. Does anybody remember the Act CRM? And I bought the book called Act for Dummies. It was a dummies book. And the guy that wrote Act for Dummies was a guy named Jeffrey Mayer, Mayer. And in 1998, we were still doing dial-up modems, right? We were still doing probably Apple Online. It was literally still the days of You've Got Mail. And Jeffrey was the first guy when I bought that book, Act for Dummies. Right in the foreword of the book, Jeffrey said, "Hey, sign up for my newsletter." And I remember it's called succeedinginbusiness.com. Jeffrey Mayer in 1998, sign up for my newsletter. Wow. Nobody was doing that. And so I would get Jeffrey's newsletter through AOL, email, and I'd read it. And at the beginning of every newsletter, Jeffrey had this little blurb about himself. It was always there, like the big orange button. It never changed. It was always there. It was a little bit about what Jeffrey Mayer is all about. One of the things Jeffrey said was, when you need coaching, here's how you get a hold of me for coaching. I never, ever thought I was going to, never thought about coaching in those days. In those days, I was also an employee. And I started to not like my job very much. And I started to think about making a change. And one day, out of the blue, I started thinking, you know what, maybe I need a coach. This was all subliminal. I wasn't even thinking of Jeffrey. Okay. I was just thinking, and I had never ever thought about needing a coach before. But one day I just thought maybe I need a coach because I'm not happy with what I'm doing. Then I started thinking, where do I get a coach? And I thought, oh yeah, there's that guy that says me a newsletter. He's a coach. I called him up and hired him. I didn't know any other coaches. I didn't know anything else. All I know is seeing that thing time after time after time, predictability, Charles said a couple slides ago, okay? Seeing that thing time after time after time, subliminally is cemented in my mind that, you know what? Maybe I do need a coach. Maybe I do need help. And the only guy I thought about calling was Jeffrey, because he beat it into my mind. By the way, I skipped over that on the last slide here. I said, Charles, predictability. Each message sets expectation and creates anticipation. We get people looking forward to the next email in the sequence. That's what we do with these PS statements. Look here. PS, be on the lookout for my unadvertised bonus email series, the top 4 things every business owner can do right now to improve their online reputation. Look at that. Look at the bonus that I created. The top 4 things. Why do you think I chose 4? Because that made it a 5-message series, didn't it? This was message 1, and now I got 4 more messages. There's 5. Set expectations. Hey, tomorrow, watch for my email. The top 4 things. Create anticipation. Hey, I probably want to know those top 4 things. All right. This gets people looking forward to us, which means out of that whole crowded email inbox, the crowded email inbox, right? I should probably finish my sentence. Out of that whole crowded email inbox, oh, look, there's that thing that Steve said he was going to send. Cool. Let's see what the top 4 things are. Or maybe I missed number 1 and I come in number 2. Oh my God, this is number 2. I better go back and look at number 1. This gets people looking for you. This helps you stand out when you set expectations and create anticipation, which is all about what Charles said, predictability. Making promises and delivering on promises. When you make a promise and you deliver on that promise, what does it do? What does it build up with people? Trust. Exactly. And we buy from people we know, like, and trust. As we get to see people time and time and time again, we get to know, like, and trust them. That's why sequences are so important, right? So, how do we make these messages engaging? Number 1, offer step by step. Hey, I've got 5, here's 5 steps to accomplishing X. Watch for my series. 5 steps to do this. Cliffhangers, soap opera sequence. You guys know what I'm talking about that, right? An open loop. Anybody ever hear the Zeigarnik effect? The Zeigarnik effect, you could Google it later. Don't you dare Google it now. You're listening to me right now, but later you can Google it. All right, the Zeigarnik effect basically means this. The brain goes crazy if you don't give it complete information. I could say to you, Jack and blank went up the hill. And I know without a doubt the girl's name that you're thinking of right now. And that's the Zeigarnik effect. The Zeigarnik effect is going to, every single one of you, you can't help it, is going to plug that girl's name right in there. But if the brain can't find that information, it's always on the lookout for it. Hey, in my next email, I'm going to give you the second step. Oh boy, the brain goes nuts. I got to have that second step. I'm going to be watching out for it. Cliffhangers are magical in that way. I like to do a Did You Know series. This is kind of cool with clients. You know, I always ask a client if they're looking for help, what should I write about? Any business owner, any business, they get asked the same questions over and over and over. We even have a term for them. We call them FAQs. Take those FAQs and turn them into a series, you know, a Did You Know series. Did you know? Boom, 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 boom. Interesting facts about their product. There's one guy I know, he was a pest control guy. And he used to do this really, really engaging series of did you know things about bugs, disgusting things, terrifying things. You know, my God, you don't want to see a spider that looked like that in your house, right? But man, people loved it. People loved it. They read every single message. Ultimate list. You see this all over the place. The ultimate list of blah, 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 right? Reasons why. 10 reasons why you should buy from Extendly today. All right. Boom, 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 boom. So what have I got here? Examples of a digital ignition funnel. Define 5 frequently asked questions, write an email for each question, include a trackable call to action, right? We've talked about that. Why? Why do we include that trackable call to action?
So that we know what's working.
Take
You
that a little
figure
further,
out-
Carlos. What do you mean so we know it's working?
So if we know, so that way we know if that call to action is working, people are clicking on it.
It's
Okay.
like A/B. It's like A/B testing. You can
Okay.
fix
Was
it
that
if
you,
it
Nick?
doesn't work.
Was that you, Nick or Daryl?
Daryl.
Okay. More interested. Look, I'm going to know if it works. I'm going to test it to know if it works. Okay. The reason I include the trackable call to action, remember we talked about segmenting, right? If I send out 100 and there's 20 that 20% open and then 20% of that 20% click, I want to know the 4%. I want to know the 4 people out of 100 that clicked on that. Helps me with segmenting, helps me identify people that might be closer to being ready, willing, and able. All right, create that PS. Charles, why do we include that PS?
It's catchy.
Cliffhanger.
People read it.
Yeah, well, people do read it, and it is a cliffhanger, and it sets those
Expectation.
expectations and creates anticipation. Somebody had a question? Okay. All right. How are we doing on time, by the way? I don't even have my phone here. Let me even check. Oh, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. All right. So let's go here. Monitor activity for your most engaged readers. Okay, we talked about that. That's segmenting. Advanced tips and strategies. We talked about the big orange button. Basically, it just means have a call to action. An RWA qualifier. Ooh, that's a fancy name. You do that with a survey. Okay, that's gathering information to figure out if somebody's qualified. Are they ready, willing, and able to buy? Are they ready? Are they willing? Are they able? Okay, what is their timing? That's just a fancy word for a survey. So I guess I got survey on here twice. And varying the first email. Let's talk about that a little bit. Here's what I love to do with an ignition funnel. You could use the meat and potatoes of that ignition funnel for anybody you meet anywhere. But often what I'll do is I'll create a welcome letter that kicks off that ignition funnel. And all I have to do is vary it by where I met you. So for instance, okay, let's say I want to use my treasure hunt, which I'm going to introduce to you in a second, as my ignition series. And let's say I met you last weekend in Florida, down in Tampa, at the POD live event. Now I can send a letter. Hey, Nick, it was great seeing you and Alex at the POD live event in Florida last weekend. Yada, 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 yada. Hey, be on the lookout for my treasure hunt. It's a lot of fun. You're going to love it. And click here if you want to get it. All right. I'm going to send it to him anyways, but give him a call to action. Give him something to click so we can track, so we can segment. All right. Now, that's the first email. I could use 99% of that first letter and just change one sentence, right? Maybe I met somebody at a Chamber of Commerce event. Hey, Heidi, it was great meeting at the Chamber of Commerce event. And then go on with the rest of the same letter. All I got to do is vary that first letter, that first sentence, and basically just change that first email just a little bit. And this makes this thing evergreen. It makes it universal. You don't have to write 5 new emails for every different situation. If you stop by, if you're cold calling, you're prospecting, you just stopped in and left a note. Hey, Carlos, stopped by your place the other day, wanted to say hello, you weren't there, yada, yada, yada. By the way, enjoy my treasure hunt. You're going to see it over the next 2 weeks. I'm going to send you 5 messages. All right. Get an idea for how that works, guys? It just means that you could use this. It's evergreen, it's universal. And if you simply change that opening line of that first letter and then basically segue it into the treasure hunt or the ignition, whatever, it works perfectly. All right. So you've been hearing me talking about this treasure hunt. The treasure hunt is an ignition sequence. All right. I got it. I wanted to have it. I wanted to make it fun. I wanted to make it engaging. I wanted to accomplish a few more things out of it. But essentially, for a long time, when people opted into my list, this is what I sent them. All right. And I'm not doing this right now because now that I'm official and I have to be probably a little more serious and a little more buttoned up because I'm with this big fancy company called Extendly. I didn't want to be quite as goofy and informal. Now, screw it. We'll still be goofy and informal. I don't think Bant will mind. All right. So anyways, but the bottom line is I'm not using this right now because this was from my old business. Everything it talked about was relating to my personal business, my coaching business, my own personal products, which I'm not currently marketing. All right. So all this is in the past, but it's fun. And I want to show you what I did. And I want to show you how it helped me. And you could do this for yourself. If you do this for yourself, remind me not to use do in a sentence again. All right. But when you do this for yourself, it's going to make you stand out. People are going to pay attention and take notice. It's okay to be different, and people love to have fun. All right, so my treasure hunt. Question? Was somebody saying something? No? Okay. So here's some of the goals of the treasure hunt. Number one, I wanted to maximize user experience. Engagement is king. I wanted to capture the home field advantage. What does that mean? Capture the home field advantage. I want to get people on my list. Building your list is the most important thing. Email, text message, all of it, right? You own that, you control it, they can't take it away from you. In social media, you own nothing. You own nothing. Okay. If you're on LinkedIn, you certainly know you can get thrown in LinkedIn jail at any time. If you're on Facebook and you have a group, I know guys with groups of 50,000 people that had to shut down overnight for basically no reason at all and just lost everything. All right. You own nothing on social media. Not only do you own nothing, but you're competing with literally billions of people, right? That are also trying to get people's attention. So capture the home field advantage. How you do that? You get them on your list and you get them engaged in something that you own and you control, like the treasure hunt. If I have you reading an email from me, I have 100% of your attention. If I have you reading a post on LinkedIn, I only have your attention until some other notification comes and gets your attention and takes it away. That's what the home field advantage is all about. You guys know what this is. You filter for ready, willing, and able. You guys know what this is. Collect user data for segmenting and personalization. So the treasure hunt, all of this is designed into the treasure hunt for us to do this. Customize every step of engagement. As I read that, I honestly don't remember what I meant, but I'm sure I'll remember as we go through the slides. Set a pixel for repeat visibility and tracking. Now, those of you that do advertising, that's true, okay? You could set pixels for people that click on something and go to a link, and this is another way that you could segment people. And if you want to tie that into some advertising and, online, that's pretty cool. You could definitely do that. Hang on, I see some chat requests that I have not been paying attention to. These are old. Yeah, like an open loop. You are correct on that. IP, you are correct on that. That's a long time ago from when I said cliffhanger. Open loop is correct. All right, what else we got here? All right, so that's just a view of what my emails look like. Now, I was born in 1964, and one thing I love, my audience is a lot my age also, roughly, okay? So I'm the last year of the baby boomers. The bottom line is, if you're marketing to people that are like you, and if you're marketing to people that are basically your age, one of the best things you can do is bring back fun memories for them. So what do we talk about? We talk about movies. Anybody recognize this movie? Anybody recognize what that was from?
I do.
Yeah, what was it? Who is it? Heidi?
Dukes Hazard.
Nope.
Cannonball Run,
Nope.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Yes, it was Smokey and the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit.
It was Smokey and the Bandit. All right. So if you talk about things, especially think about teenage years and high school years, you think about movies, you think about music, you think about, for guys, you think about first cars, for ladies, you think about first dates or whatnot. If you bring back memories like that, usually your audience will really, really like it. So characteristics, we know this is going to last. This is 5 to 7 days, even 10 to 14 days is fine. All right, you want to generate activity. How do we generate activity?
Call to action.
Yes, exactly right. That's the answer I was looking for. A call to action, links to click. All right, link to my RWA qualifier, a survey, so I could qualify people that are ready, willing, and able to buy from me right now. All right, last email contents. I honestly don't know what I meant by that when I wrote this slide. Advanced segmenting, lead scoring, tagging, etc. These are all things that mean, as I was saying, we track the engagement, we take in that information, and it helps us identify the people that are most interested. So capturing the home field advantage, I got 2,090 people into this funnel. And those people had spent $53,000 with me over time. All right, so and to do this, I got them into a membership area. This, by the way, this is before high level. All right, so, but this was a membership area. What that means is, in my membership area, I had gathered 2,090 people, and they had bought $53,451 worth of products in this particular case. All right, so how do I segment my list and gain intelligence? First of all, right here, I gave away gifts. All right, and I gave gifts that they would like. So would you like to know how to build an email funnel in 52 minutes? Yes, I need help finishing and marketing my book, and thank you for the lovely gift. Now, look what I did here. I framed this as I'm looking for people that are looking to write a book, because I have a course and I have information for people that may want to write a book. I was using this as segmenting. Yes, I need help finishing and marketing my book, and thank you for the lovely gift. If they click on that link, and look at this, no, just give me the lovely gift, please. Now, this isn't perfect. And guess what? These are two different links. They both go to the same place. But I can track who clicked on this and who clicked on this.
Mhm.
But what do I learn from that? People want the same thing, but just by giving them two different links to click, what do I learn?
Who's willing to spend more to learn, to get more help?
Well, maybe, but I learned specifically what they're looking to do. Yes, I want to write a book. I want to sell my own products. All right. So I can tag them as, hey, they have an interest in writing and marketing their book. Now I
Does
can
it determine the level of seriousness?
possibly. Okay. In this case, I'm giving away a free product, and most anybody will claim a free product. So this one, maybe it does, but what I would really look for is this helps me learn something about those people. This is what I was saying. By tracking your activity, we can gain information. I'm giving away a
Whether
product.
they're a hot lead or whether they're like a hot lead or a really hot lead, I guess.
Well, maybe, Nick, maybe, but more importantly, when this is over, I could take the people that said, yes, I'm writing a book. And I've got a product called The Legacy Way, which is about how to take your passion, your experience, and your talent, your pet. Okay, you take your passion, your experience, and your talent, you turn it into a product that you can sell and generate income from your passion, your experience, and your talent. So what I know is by the end of these 5 messages, I'm going to have certain people that I tagged as being better prospects for that particular product. So the next product I might show them might be The Legacy Way. Other people, I might show a different product depending on other information I gather from them. It just helps me know who's interested in one thing versus who's interested in another. Get rid of dead weight. Don't fear the opt-out. Did people say, stop emailing me so much? Take me off your frickin' list. I never want to hear from you again. You think that happened? I mean, I'm a nice guy, so that probably never happened, right? Every time I send out an email, I promise you 2 things happen. People opt out and people buy something. And if people want to opt out, very nicely, I just say, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate it. Here's the door. Thank you very much. That's okay. No harm, no foul. But I also sell something every time I send out an email. Okay, so, all right, let's go through some of these. Creating irresistible messages. Have fun. Gamification. All right. What does it mean? Make a game out of it. The treasure hunt was literally a game. I'm going to give you things, but in order to find these things, in order to get these things, I'm going to make you go to different places. All right. That's where their bonuses were. One of them, they had to sign in to get into my membership area, because when they're inside my membership area, what do they see? All the stuff they can buy from me. Okay. So I give them something free that they love, but when they get in there, it's like, oh, I want that, and I want that, and I want that. Yes, you do. And I can help you with that. All right. So one of the things I want to do is I want to get them to enroll in my membership area. That's one of the ways we have a game is say, go here and claim this free gift, which is a course. We elicit emotions. Oh, I love it. People literally sent me back emails. I love Smokey and the Bandit. It was my favorite movie. Remember this line? Remember that line? Remember when this happened? These are the type of emails I got back from this treasure hunt all the time. Bounce them around your properties. Okay, that's kind of what I meant with my calls to action. What do I mean? Bounce them around my properties.
Show them everything you have.
Yeah, but in all the different places they can get them. For instance, I showed them, hey, I got some videos on YouTube you're going to like. Here's a video. Do me a favor. While you're there, give it a thumbs up, write a comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel so I grow my presence on YouTube. By the way, I've got a Facebook group. All right. Now, I don't do this all in one email. Every one of my stops on the treasure hunt would take them to a different place. By the end of it, they've opted in. They're in my membership area. They've subscribed to me on YouTube. They're members of my Facebook group. They're connected with me on LinkedIn. I've bounced them around and connected with them in all those different places. Now, you know why? You know another reason why doing this is so important, and this is kind of an advanced thing, and I'll just come right out and say it, instead of keeping you guessing. People ask all the time, how do you stay out of the spam box? And people think that spam is all about the words you use. The words may play a role in it, but Google and Outlook and Yahoo and all the big email service providers, they're really a lot more sophisticated than that today. They know a lot more than just the words. They know who you have a relationship with, i.e., who likes to read your stuff and who doesn't. How do you think they know? Heidi, how do you think that Gmail and Outlook and Yahoo know how much you love me?
Because I'm here all the time.
How did you get here?
I clicked on my computer that they control and my
Yes, you open my email, you clicked on a link, you follow, right? So when I say, hey, go here and get this free course, you open the email, you click on a link. Oh, wow, they must like Steve. And the next email says, hey, go over here and go to YouTube. Every time I have you doing that, the email service providers are saying, yep, Heidi really likes Steve, so we're going to make sure that she sees every email he sends out. That's one of the important things about putting in links and engaging and telling people, giving them instructions. Go here, do this, go here, do that. If you give people directions and they follow your directions, what does that tell you?
They trust you.
Yeah. And they like what you're doing and they're interested in what you're doing. And if you just happen to be able to track that, you could escalate the relationship to the next level. Did you guys ever did you ever stop to think about all this power that simple little emails have? Are these aha moments for you?
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. We talked about this, setting expectations and creating anticipation. Using a pre-header, I'll show you an example of that. You guys know what the pre-header is, right? It's built into high level. I'll show you how you use that. Use images. All right. So here's just an example of some of the fun things that we did during the treasure hunt. All right. We talked about Smokey and the Bandit. We talked about the silly little GIF about how to make money. And there's that panda bear shooting out dollar bills. Here's one. I wanted to demonstrate how smart I was and my authority and my credibility. So go listen to Steve, be a guest on a podcast. There's nothing that builds your authority and credibility like when you are the guest on somebody's podcast. But not only that, it puts you in front of a large audience. You meet a lot of people and you instantly gain credibility and also know, like, and trust. Because think about that. If there's a podcaster and that podcaster has an audience, and that audience is tuning in to listen to podcasts week after week after week, you know that they know, like, and trust the host. So when the host introduced Steve Rosenbaum and tells him, hey, you should listen to Steve Rosenbaum because this guy is a marketing automation genius, it's a whole lot more effective than me telling you that I'm a marketing automation genius. That's just bragging. But when somebody that they know, like, and trust tells you, that's authority and credibility instantly. All right, I gave people a workbook, tell your story, build your brand, because I did one of my emails was about the importance of storytelling. And then I also included, here's another movie shot. Does anybody know this movie? This is from the 60s. I'm just going to warn you, you're going to date yourself if you recognize this movie. It's a funny movie. It's a mad, 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 mad world. That was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. All right. So those are just some examples of things that I put in the treasure hunt. What do you guys think of all this? Is it fun? Is it engaging?
Very cool.
Could you guys do this?
Mm-hmm.
Sure you could. Sure you could. And it's fun, really it is. It really is. When you sit down there and you think about your audience and you think about what they like, and then you think about things like this. Think about movies, think about music, and how can you hook them in? There is nothing that engages people like memories. Taking them back and putting them in a place. And especially if you share that memory with them, then they really bond with you. Wow, I like Steve. He's just like me. I used to love that movie too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, we went to high school at the same time, and I remember what happened. I remember what I was doing when I heard that song, right? You know, that's what people start thinking. All right, so subject lines that get the open. Dealing with curiosity, dealing with humor, emotions, weird stuff, contrast, movie and music titles, shocking stuff, immediate benefit, scarcity, urgency. I'm not going to go over each and every one of those things. These are just ideas of different things that get people to pay attention. The subject line is the most important thing. What's the job of the subject line?
Get them to read the first.
To get them to open the email. That's right. That's right. And what's the job of the opening line of the email?
Get them to read the second line of the email.
You are correct. And then you know what the job of the second, the third, and the fourth is, right? You have to build this thing to engage them and draw them in all the way down to the bottom. Stories, memories, powerful emotional stuff is how you do that. It's called copywriting, right? All right, so here were some of my subject lines. I'm sorry. What is that? If you can remember from this, what do you think I'm sorry is? What are we playing on with I'm sorry?
Curiosity.
Curiosity. What the hell is he sorry about? Exactly. Day 2 of 5, driving the train, get paid to be in charge. All right, notice here, day 2 of 5. I always do this when I'm sending out an ignition series. I let them know day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. This is part of the expectation and the anticipation. That's right. That's right. All right. And if somebody misses one, they go back and they read the other one. They do it all the time. There you go. Day 3, the tragic death of the pesky whack-a-mole. The tragic death of the pesky whack-a-mole. What is that?
Humor.
Humor, weird, curiosity, all of it, right? That's not a typical subject line that you see in your inbox, is it?
Mm-hmm.
How to legally steal from Zuckerberg's billions. He won't even miss it. Damn it, I'm grieving again. And this really was when my childhood friend passed away, right in the middle of me doing the treasure hunt. I actually interrupted my treasure hunt and wrote a real deep personal story about it. This was real. I was really grieving, and I really wrote. This was not even planned to be in the treasure hunt, but I put it in there, and that connected me with people. Day 4.25 out of 5, more treasure added. What the hell is that?
Bonus.
What's that, Carlos?
A bonus.
Bonus. Yeah. Right. Added value, additional, unexpected. Wow. Cool. I'm going to get more. That's good. I thought we were getting to the end, but I'm going to get more. Cool. Bonus. And 4.25 out of 5. That's kind of weird, right? How about more? 4.5 out of 5 beneath the big W. All right, now, that was kind of a hint because I showed you that movie. It's a mad, 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 mad world. If you look back here, I'm giving away the end of the movie. The movie is look for the big W. All right. So anybody that knew that movie would instantly know what I'm talking about. All right, here, steal my biggest secrets revealed inside. Are you likely to open up a subject line like that? Yeah, exactly right. All right, we talked to you about using the pre-header. There's a pre-header. That's pretty important, all right, because it actually gives you a second opportunity to continue the power of the subject line. There it is, that tragic death of that pesky whacker. Well, I can't even finish all that. Boy, I've got a doozy for you, all right? So again, there's curiosity today. People say, I've got a doozy for you. That's enough for them to realize there's something good inside, right? Oh, that's somebody that replied to me. I was going to say, I don't know what the hell that is. Thank you, AJ. All right. Yeah, these are me replying to people. Anyways, I didn't do a very good job of that image. The bottom line is I'm showing you the power of using, look, gift inside, just like Cracker Jack. Again, we grew up with Cracker Jack, right? So bringing back those memories. So, but I'm showing you how to use those pre-headers. So, you guys want to see some results?
Yes, you got our curiosity now.
Okay, here we go. Less than a week. So I just did a search in my email inbox. This is the notification that I got anytime somebody filled out one of those surveys. What is that? Okay. So you can just see one of many. All right. I just searched on how many people filled out that survey. One of 50 of many. I don't even know exactly what it was, but I just kept getting notifications. People filling out those surveys. What do the surveys give me?
Information.
Bingo. Bingo. This is how we take people down that funnel. Okay. I might send out 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 emails. I'm not expecting to sell to all those people, but I'm starting to learn the people that are most likely to buy so I could follow up with them at a different level. Bonding and building rapport. So these are messages I got back from people that did this. I listened to this 3 times. Your ideas are amazing. I think you should be in Time's 100 most influential people of 2020. He went on to buy some high-ticket coaching from me, by the way, just from that treasure hunt. And he had just met me. He had just got on my list. And just from the treasure hunt, he went on to engage me in some personal coaching, which isn't cheap. I listened to 3 guys, Dan Kennedy, Jay Abraham, and you. Now, if you know Dan Kennedy and Jay Abraham, this is an amazing testimonial. There's literally, this really is something to me. So that's really something. Okay, that one's putting some shivers down my spine. That's very nice. Need to start paying attention to your emails. Lots of value. Looking forward to your remaining treasure hunt clues. What did we say the job was? The job was to get them to pay attention to you above and beyond all other people. This is all what the ignition funnel is designed to do. And it wasn't 2,000 people that said all these things, but it is the people that say these things are the people that I'm looking for. You're one of the few marketing geniuses and not a common guru I still follow and read emails from. Very nice. And this happens to be one of my clients. Thank you. You saved my business. Jeff Lipton, Bob Lou Cigar Company. All right, folks, there you go. There you go. What do you think?
Where do we get this? Because now you've got us very curious.
Yeah, it's not for sale right now. But hang on, just hang around me. I'll show you more. I'll show you more. When I joined High Level, folks, I pretty much turned off my personal stuff. I'm full-time with High Level, and I can't be there to support it. I can't be there to help people with it. So I don't want to sell it. I don't want to take their money because I'm not there to support it. So, but I will continue teaching from it. I mean, I have got literally well over, I think it's getting close to 2,000 videos of content in my Vimeo account. I've got 4 dozen courses I've created, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of webinars like these. I've got so much content, and it's evergreen because I'm a process guy. I'm not a bright, shiny object guy. So I could show you slides. Those slides were written probably 4 years ago, but they're just as relevant today because that's what happens when you deal with process. Process never changes. The technology does. I'm not using the same email program that I used to send it out. I'm using text messaging today. I wasn't using text messaging back then. So it doesn't change anything, except now if I did this again now, I'd also put some text messaging in there. Of course I would. I might even put some Facebook stuff in there. I could build it into my workflow. Because remember we talked about bouncing people around. Hey, you want to claim one of these prizes? Go to Facebook and send me a direct message. That way I can get you connected there. Or Instagram, right? And I understand that we're about to be connected to WhatsApp. So I could start including this stuff in my connections and so forth, right? Javier, I just met you this week. What do you think?
Very, very interesting. I'm thinking here that I need to create a lot of assets to be able to bounce them around to all of them.
Yeah, but it doesn't all have to be tonight.
Right.
Look, people look at me and they say, Steve, you're everywhere. Well, I've been doing this a long time, number one. They don't know. I still get people that click on something and follow me from something I created 8 years ago. So they don't know, okay? So you don't have to do it all the time. And the reality is, you could, not only can you use stuff, and by the way, here's a trick. You could put in your treasure hunt, you could put stuff that may not even be yours. All right, for instance, let's just say that you were writing stuff about High Level. Well, High Level gives away some courses that they let you use. Extendly, by the way, each and every one of you, if you have an agency, you should sign up and be an Extendly affiliate. All right. And we give you things that you could give away as part of your treasure hunt. We give you a free course to give away. We give you, all sorts of different assets. I don't have them right here. I give you the link to that. I will in a second. Sign up to be an Extendly. We give you a whole bunch of stuff. You could build a treasure hunt based around our stuff. I would add some other stuff. You could connect to videos on YouTube. You could connect to coaching videos. You could, I did a series of 4 videos on how to build a 12-month client relationship. It's like the 12-month client blueprint or something like that. And I did that as part of this series. We did it for 4 weeks in a row. All those videos are now on a playlist in YouTube. Use that as part of your treasure hunt. It benefits you, it benefits me because you're giving value. Of course, I thank you because you're putting me in front of more eyeballs and you're putting Extendly in front of more eyeballs. So I appreciate that. But it benefits you too because you're helping somebody out, right? If you say, look, if you want to learn from a guy named Steve, he's really good at generating revenue for small businesses just like yours. Here's some cool videos that you'll really like. People aren't going to say, Javier, that's not your stuff. They're going to say, thank you, Javier. That's pretty cool. I appreciate that. And I'm not competing with you, so it doesn't matter. I'm helping you. Appreciate that, Javier. Thank you. Where's Joanne? I'm picking on you, Joanne. Because I just met you last week, too. What do you think? You're hiding. There you are.
I think I need to get better at creating email marketing.
Okay, good. I'm glad I inspired you. What does it mean to be better at email marketing? What do you have to do to get better at email marketing?
Actually do it. Most of the stuff that I do right now.
Hold on. Please repeat that. That was brilliant. Please repeat that. What do you have to do to get better at email marketing?
Actually do it.
I love that answer. Thank you so much for the brutal honesty. And yes, that's how you get better at email marketing. You will get better simply by doing that.
Yeah, most of what I do right now is face-to-face with people. I'm local, working local business, not digital.
Okay, great. So how do you decide who to get face-to-face with?
I am leveraging networking groups
Excellent.
to make connections to people to just spark a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I love that.
So that's my starting point, and then booking meetings and conversations to further that along.
Beautiful.
But one of the things with email that I plan to do is I find that, and most people don't follow up when they are at a meeting or a networking event and they make a connection with someone else. They take the business card and then it sits in a stack.
So true. Which is why this is my business card. Just like Charles. All right. I went to an event last week with 140 people in a room. I did not bring one single business card with me. I walked out with 140 people in my database. There you go, just like Charles. There you go, just like Carlos. Okay. Now the real key is make sure that every one of those people get into your follow-up system. And then how are you going to follow up with them? After they scan this, where are they going to go, folks? I'm listening.
Into follow-up.
Into your follow-up. Let's be a little more specific. What we've been
Social
talking about for the past hour and 3 minutes.
YouTube, emails,
So-
newsletters.
Yeah, I mean, mine,
Your
when
funnel,
they
the
scan
one
my
you're talking
QR
about.
code,
the
they go
ignition
directly
funnel.
into high level. From high level, that triggers an automation where I send them a text message.
Workflow.
Hey, thanks for downloading my digital business card. It was great meeting you and connecting with you. And then I send them an email that's an introduction and segues into my nurture campaign where they get
So all that is
52
correct,
weeks of
Charles.
email.
All that is correct. Okay. But the answer I was looking for is what Carlos said, the ignition funnel. Okay. You meet somebody and now look, you do it any way you want. That's my proprietary way of what I teach and how I do it. Doesn't mean your way or anybody's way won't work. It's just, that is a very specific way that I design the first 5 messages. And it's worked for me quite well. So everything you say right is right, Charles. Didn't mean to cut you off. But
No, you're good.
the point I was making was ignite that relationship. Do these things to connect, to identify, to segment. So Joanne, I love that you're networking. Networking is wonderful. And in doing so, I'm hoping that before you actually go and to the next step and have that hour-long meeting or go for that cup of coffee or whatever it is, I'm hoping that you're at least a little bit pre-qualifying those people and make sure that they're a potential good fit for you and you're a potential good fit for them, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that's important. Now, what the emailing will allow you to do is broaden beyond that, because the networking groups are phenomenal. But how many people are in that group? 30, 40, 50, 100?
480.
Nice. Okay.
Well, it's an
Chamber of Commerce?
organization.
Yeah.
No, it's actually a group here locally that has 30 different meetings throughout the month,
So
all over.
That is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. Good for you.
Thank you.
Okay. So that's a great place to start. Now, to your point, you want to blow them away. When you meet somebody at the next networking event, put them into an ignition funnel. And then they're going to look at you different than every other person in that room. And they're going to think you got your shit together, even if you just put it together yesterday. Because nobody else has it.
That's
Right?
true. No
Yeah.
one ever follows up, at least not with me.
No, they don't. They don't. Nobody ever follows up. That's why I call my company Flawless Follow. People say to me, they hear follow up. I need help. They don't even know what I do. They just know I don't do nearly a good enough job.
I
So
get
you
a lot
can't-
of compliments just from the QR code.
Say that again, Carlos.
I get a lot of compliments just from the QR code. They're like, wow, I need to do that.
Exactly right. They know that you're following up better than they are. Exactly right. All right, where are my boys, Nick and Alex? What do you think, guys?
Yeah, I like it.
Cool.
I like the points. I like the things you were saying, kind of the bullet points on, like things that would be weird, funny, catchy, all those little things. I'm going to use those. That was really good.
Yeah, awesome. Sean, we met last weekend. What do you think?
I think it's awesome. I need to follow up as well. You know, know how to create good email sequences, basically. So this was enlightening for me.
Excellent.
But that's something I'm working on now. Is kind of like, you know, figuring out the best kind of messaging to put out to different types of people.
All right. So if I could give my 2 points here, my little 2 cents. Above and beyond all else, be yourself. I mean, if you looked at my stuff, you could tell, you know, my personality's in there, isn't it? You get an idea of what I'm like as a person there. And it's different than the blah, 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 blah BS that everybody else is sending out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, just because everybody else is doing it one way, that's probably a good enough reason for you not to do it that way. How the hell are you going to stand out from everybody else if you say, well, look, this is what everybody else is doing? That's putting you into a pigeonhole that you're not going to be seen. But people like people. They like the transparency. They like the humility. They like the humor. They like to laugh. They like to cry.
Yeah, integrate some sports in there, Cowboys or whoever your favorite team is, or just integrate, you know, some of the things that you like you put Smokey the Bandit. I like Star Wars, you know, things like that.
No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, you can get creative with that. From that perspective, they can, you know, get to know who you are, and yeah, you don't look like just everyone else who's using ChatGPT or whatever to
No
make,
doubt.
you know.
You know, Nick, I don't want you looking because you're driving, but I get so many people that pick this off of my shelf. They see this on the shelf, my little Mandalorian. Okay. Now this happened to be an award that I wanted BNI for networking, Joanne. Okay. So I have it up there. It's twofold. It's twofold because it gets people's attention and people say, Star Wars. Okay. And I'm not particularly a Star Wars fan. If they ask me any trivia questions about Star Wars, I'm going to fail. But it does start a conversation. And it does allow me to tell people why I have this. Reason why. Hey, networking, BNI. All right. So conversation, everything around here is designed to be something that tells you a little something about me. I loved the comic book Spy versus Spy when I was a kid. If you're a boy my age, you had one of those little tin robots when you were a kid. Okay. All this other stuff about flawless follow-up. So this is stuff about me that makes you identify with me a little bit more. It tells you a little bit more about me. Javier, you got some stuff back there that I could talk about, right? So that's all good stuff.
I like that as well because and I was thinking about that as well for me when it comes to sending out emails, because I'm looking at all these different kinds of marketing sequences a lot of people are putting out. And I was just thinking, you know, my personality is always kind of very much to the heart. And so I was thinking of reaching out, doing a cold email to a lot of people that, and just telling them kind of like who I am and the purpose of me kind of sending the message, not to sell them on anything, but to just, you know, kind of try to build that relationship and find out if there's anything that I can do for them. But in a way that's just more human and just direct for me. And I was wondering, is that a good approach, or
most of it
be more? Okay.
Most of it. There's one thing I totally disagree with. What was that?
I don't know.
Not to sell them anything. How are you gonna pay your mortgage? How are you gonna pay your rent? How are you gonna put gas in your car and feed your family? You better sell them something.
Here's the thing, and that's a great point. So what I was thinking, being that, for instance, I have a cold email list, right? So I don't know on this list is a various people on the list. So I don't know the list like that. So I was thinking that I can put out there kind of like, you know, where I'm at and what I'm doing, and then let the people that would be interested respond. And then I can kind of think about selling them on those different things.
All right. So I'm gonna give you that one because you said something else. Okay. So let's unpack the word sell. Selling does not have to be a transaction of money. It doesn't have to be an exchange of money. Selling could just be convincing somebody to do something that provides value to both of you. Okay. For instance, then you said reply to the email. To me, that's you sold them. You sold them on taking that action to reply to that email. That's good. Okay. So selling could just be getting them to do something. But the bottom line is everything we talked about was you have to give people a next step, because it's in tracking and engaging them in the next step that you're getting that information. The most important thing about the emails you send out is what? The information you take back in.
Yeah, okay.
And most people get that wrong. Most people just get out there and just blast out emails. I'm just going to blast out emails and somebody's going to give me their money. Well, that might happen some of the time. But some people aren't some people aren't ready, willing, and able. Some people aren't even ready. They don't even know who you are. They don't know, like, and trust you. They don't even know you. Okay. And we all know it takes how many messages?
Yeah.
How many?
12, as many as it takes.
Yeah, I was trying to trick you, Sean, and you got it. You got it. As many as it takes. Good job, Sean. Good job. All right, guys. All right. Hey, we had a lot of fun today. I promised you fun. So I shouldn't tell you we had a lot of fun today. Hey, did we have a lot of fun today?
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
All right. Everybody comment on Facebook. Let everybody know how much they missed, how much fun they missed. And then give them a call to action to make sure they go watch the replay. And then give them another call to action. Says you better be here on Friday when we're going to be here with the king of database reactivation, Rob Bailey. We're going to talk about database reactivation.
Oh, so what time? What time?
Same time, right?
Same time. No, actually it's going to be a little bit later. Look in the Facebook group. Look in the Facebook group. All right.
I am not on Facebook.
I'm going to give you some homework. Which is to go to the Facebook group, because I owe you a lot of stuff. Okay, I'm going to give you. You'll see the ad. You'll see the image of Rob Bailey and I doing a webinar on Friday about database reactivation. Those of you that were in the room over the weekend, Saturday in Tampa, this will be very much the same presentation, and you'll see it. We are actually going to show you an incredible offer. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but Nick bought it. Nick, is it an incredible offer?
Yay, Nick.
Yeah, it's a good offer. I want to know where it's at.
Oh, thanks, man. Thanks, man. Throw me under the bus.
You got his curiosity now.
It's the last time I call on you, Nick.
That's what you meant by curiosity, right?
Nick, we told you that was the early bird special. It's going to be delivered this week. It's going to be delivered. You got me blushing, Nick. Thanks, buddy. All right. All right. But you're going to get a lot, even if you don't buy, you're going to get a lot of worthwhile stuff, but you're going to love what we put together for you as a done for you package. All right. And I will tell you this, in over the weekend, we limited the number and we sold out in a minute and a half. All right. Wow. We're in a room of 140 people. We said, we've got this many available. We sold out in a minute and a half. So it's a good offer. I think you'll love it. All right. Who's going to be there Friday?
What time?
3 p.m. Central.
Thank you,
3 p.m.
Charles.
Central.
Look at Charles. Charles has got it right there. Friday, September 15th at 3 p.m. Central. I don't think that's right.
It is.
It is?
Well, that's what's on Facebook.
I think it's
so I hope it's right.
Okay. If it's on Facebook, it's right. If it's on Facebook, that's when I'll be there. All right.
Well, that's the same time that Stephanie does her call. So
yeah. Well, she won't be doing it Friday. We're gonna be doing it on Friday. We're gonna be doing this webinar.
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
And I'll put the link to register for Heidi since she's not on Facebook.
Thank you. I should just be talking to you, Charles.
Here is.
Well, Heidi, you obviously get our emails though, right?
No.
There you go.
Well, you're here. You must get our emails.
I don't know if I get. I don't think so.
There you go. Links in the chat.
Thank
Links
you.
in the chat.
Hey, is that Nick's daughter? Hey, Nick's daughter.
Yeah.
What?
Hey,
Hey, Nick's daughter.
I don't get the emails either. I signed up way back when I joined Extendly 3 months ago, and I just bookmarked it and duplicated the got on the calendar.
All right. Well, okay. Do me a favor. Put your names and your email addresses in the chat. If you want to make it private to me so nobody else can see it, that's fine. Or if you don't mind it being public, put it public. I will go and find out what happened. I'll do my best to get you back on the notifications. I will tell you that we post a lot in our Facebook group for those of you that are on Facebook. Sorry, Heidi.
No, I'm not on there. I got kicked out.
I understand. I will check your email, Heidi. And Daryl, if you put that there too, I will check.
Okay, I put it in there and I'm gonna go sign up, Charles. Thank you so much for that.
Yep.
Okay.
And
All
I
right,
put the
super.
link in the Facebook group on this live. So if you didn't catch it in the comments in the chat here, you can go to the Facebook group. You can see it in the featured, it's pinned, and it's also the sign up link is in the comments of this video you're watching right now.
You're the best, Charles. You are the best. Thank you for your help.
Hey.
So, and there it is on my screen. goextendly.com/winback.
He
You got no
deserves to be able
excuse.
to use. He deserves to be able to use his QR code.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, my
Everybody's-
QR code is for Extendly, so you know
Hey,
there is.
hey, Charles, has anyone ever offered you to do a movie trailer voiceover?
Ah,
I get asked.
I could hear it
Quite
now in a
often.
world
Yeah.
where
That's awesome.
World.
That's awesome. It was funny the other night when we were down in Florida and we were on Friday night. So this was Alex Schlinsky's POD live event. It was fantastic. It was a lot of fun. It was really good. It was really beneficial. And we had a cruise Friday night and there's 140 people on this boat. It was packed. And I hear somebody yelling my name from over there. And I did not recognize them, but they heard my voice from over there. They heard my voice, Rosenbaum. They could hear that voice. So they said, I've heard your voice so many times on all these videos. So Charles, I know what it's like to have that big booming radio announcer voice. It does get recognized. There you go. Go.com/winback. That's how we look at you. God, we're all right. So did we put that in the chat also?
Yep, it's in the chat. It's in the Facebook group under this live video, and it's pinned in the featured section of the Facebook group. So
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
you're
And
the
it's
best,
the-
Charles.
and it's at the same time. So you should already have Fridays at 3:00 Central booked on your calendar anyways for the great meetings that happen Monday,
Exactly right.
Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday every week at 3
Exactly.
p.m.
I'm not 100% sure it'll be the same link, but it probably will. It's a matter of how much. I don't know how many seats are on this. We got multiple Zoom accounts, and I don't know how many seats we have on this Zoom account because we're going to have a lot of people at this thing. All right. So those of you that are here for the first time, unmute, and on a scale of 1 to 10, how did you enjoy your first coaching session with Extendly? Crickets. Yeah. Oh, listen to that. And the crowd goes wild.
Charles.
All right. I hope it was worth your while. I hope you'll be back. We'll see you again. Remember, we got other great coaches doing this all the time. We love you. We appreciate you. We want you having success. Go out there and make it happen. We'll see you next time, everybody.
Thank you.
Want to learn Go High Level in a structured format? Check out the gohlacademy.com by Extendly. We guarantee to save you 6 months of wasted subscription costs for High Level. Just visit the gohlacademy.com.